Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, start with the pistol. There's a bunch of suicide grunts in the beginning. Look at these poor people.
Evacuation will commence ASAP.
These poor people. Oh, damn it, there's guns down here.
There's the rocket launcher down here for
Y'all
when
got guns? Where's rocket spawn?
It's right down here, multiplayer. That'd be hilarious if it was here.
Yeah, you'd probably team kill me if it was here.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. You're in luck. There's no rockets here.
Okay, cool. Man, I don't remember all the dead civvies, man. That's kind of jacked up.
Now, I think from the books, Reach is a military base, right? So I guess are all these like military personnel people, like not.
Yeah, I don't think the Covenant views it that way, but
right.
You know, whatever. I'm not sure they care about target ID very much, seeing as they just glaze planets,
right,
like a donut.
You know, that's actually probably got to be. That's like so horrible, right? I mean, like the planet is literally useless. When
Yeah, I don't like. So it just like superheats, right? Like all they're doing is superheating the like it's just extreme heat, yeah?
Yeah, I think they're just burning everything to a crisp, but maybe the way they do it is so extreme that like it can't sustain life anymore.
I mean, I think it flattens things, and I think it would obviously get rid of trees, get rid of get rid of water because you're heating it.
Right, evaporate all the water, maybe. Oh shit!
Oh! Man down, man down!
I forgot about that
Performing
one.
CPR.
There you go.
Oh look, you're back. It worked. Okay.
Firing FPF.
Why'd the music go away? Did the music go away for you? Oh, I guess it's just an audio glitch. That's cool.
Oh, now we're we're lagging. Here we go.
Hey, I can hear things again. Armor lock, you know, if I was ever gonna pick up armor lock, this would be the time.
Are you gonna do it?
Oh, hell no. What do I look like? A VK, man? Come on. No, sir.
Wow, you actually get points, I think, for killing the... Oh, shit, I fell for it again.
Firing FPF 2.
CPR! Man, dude, I'm getting good at it. Like, you're back up already. Get the defibs out.
That's right.
I just don't trust corners.
Did we get in?
Got them all up there.
Jeez. There they all go. I think this would have been a great firefight map, like in the dark.
Yeah,
tight corridors.
I think it's kind of too linear for it, you know.
Oh, you know what? Here's a question I want to ask you: is what do you think of MW2?
You know, I played an okay amount of it now, and I would say, as far as Call of Duties go, it's not that bad. I have a couple grievances. The meta is incredibly frustrating, but then again, you know, how often does Call of Duty get the meta right? Not very.
Right.
So it is what it is. Because, like, it literally is a one-shot meta. Like, there's a lot of marksman rifles and snipers that are one-shots that are just like, I'm sorry, the amount of people that run around with no sight on a marksman rifle and just absolutely wreck people is ridiculous. Like, it's not sniping, it's not quickscoping, it's just being bad. And then shotguns are ridiculous in the game, absolutely ridiculous. So that's kind of frustrating. It's as far as the movement goes, I would say it's a little bit clunkier than the 2019 version, which I thought the 2019 version they had the movement right. They did do a couple things that I thought were cool that were different. I'm dead, by the way.
Okay.
That brute just hit armor lock. What in the... That man just struck a pose. Did you see that?
I did. I struck a pose. That's right.
He was doing like the boom, boom, fire, power. Literally like hitting one of those like pro wrestler moves. But they added like... So there's like a mantle, but it's not what you would think. So like you can almost like hang out on a ledge like Assassin's Creed and you can draw a pistol.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then they have like, and I like this because I'm somebody who appreciates like tactical aspects in video games. You can like draw a pistol and have your rifle shouldered with a sling and your pistol drawn.
Yeah, that is cool.
I'm a big fan of that.
Is that only if you have a pistol as your secondary?
I think it's an attachment on a pistol.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, it's I'm a big fan of that aspect, like the tacticalness. And the maps, I would say the maps or whatever, allegedly they're gonna add a bunch of the Modern Warfare 2, like original Modern Warfare 2 maps. If they do that, then it'll be fine.
What are your thoughts on that car one where it's like a highway?
Oh my, dude, that might be the dumbest map I've ever seen.
the internet.
seen
the
the
internet
memes on that?
Yeah, there's a guy who just keeps spawning by blowing cars blowing up over and over again.
Oh, it's actually hilarious. Like, I have no idea what they were thinking. Like, you know how you always complain about 3-lane maps?
Yeah, this is one lane,
that's
right?
Like, you can call that a 3-lane map. It is not a 3-lane map. It is like 1.5.
Right.
And all of the cars are explodable. All of the cars are explodable.
I don't know.
ridiculous.
Was that a map that was in beta? Like, surely.
I don't know. I think I'm not sure.
Probably not, because I think the raids just started happening, right? So.
Yeah. Well, so if the cars didn't explode, I wouldn't think it'd be horrible. And I think if the map was wider, like, I like the idea. Like, you're on a highway. Like, okay, like, I can get behind that. Like, you know, you see in the movies, like, the scenes where they're, like, going through the highway and whatever. Like, literally that map is a Sicario scene. But, it's just too small and the cars explode. So, like, you just chuck a nade up. And it's not that hard to get a kill.
Is it like the MW2 equivalent of Shipment almost?
Oh, it's worse than that. Shipment, I like. You
I
know,
love
Shipment, you know
Shipment.
what I do too, and you know what you're getting into, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a square. It makes more sense. This is just like one lane with just horrible angles that you just kind of like sit on, and you can like go prone on most of the cars and see under them. They're spawning underneath you.
Okay.
It's really bad.
Do you think you found like a group of guys that you play with all the time?
A lot of my high school friends from high school play it.
Well,
I have some friends that are pretty good at it.
The reason why I bring it up is I actually got it and tried it out. And,
yeah, nice.
I had to refund it.
Oh, did you really?
I did, yeah. It's just...
Oh, so you were feeling bad. You're like, man, I told him to buy this game.
Right.
I'm dead.
Okay.
You've refunded it. Wow.
Yeah, it's only lasted about an hour.
Oh, you didn't give it the good college try then.
It's just I can't. You know, I can't. It's
I was shocked you wanted to play it in the first place, so I get it.
My reaction time is so much slower than when it was 10 years ago.
Goodbye.
I don't know. It's just I don't really think it's like all that great. I mean, like, sure, it's COD. Like, COD's cool, but I've done this so many times.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't think it was like a stellar title. Like, I wasn't like, oh my god, I love this game. I just think it's a dude. Screw this guy. I just think it's like it's a decent entry, right? Like, there's so many Call of Duties that are just horrible to me that it was just nice to play a Call of Duty that I didn't think was absolute garbage, like Advanced Warfare, Infinity War, or Infinite Warfare. Yeah, I want to jack one of these things, dude. That'd be crazy.
I think you get jetpack soon, and you might.
Give me this. You don't need this. Why do you need this? Give me that. You don't want that. Oh, it's an ODST.
This is actually.
Yes, man.
This is.
Did
Oh,
you
is it
notice
really?
that?
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, these are ODSTs.
Oh, shite.
Look at him, dude.
Okay.
I really took the rocket launcher from this one, and he's getting gunned down by the Banshee.
That's great. This is the one mission. This is like the obligatory mission where they're like, yeah, you see ODSTs, you see brutes. There you go.
I like that the brutes aren't in armor though, and they look like cannon fodder because it's early in the war. Oh, did that guy just? Whoa, why is mine not working? Mine just didn't work. Swear my bumper. Oh, because I'm clicking the wrong button.
Is it
That
X
wasn't
for you?
very bright of me. Yeah, that was not very bright of me. I was trying to use a. Dang.
I actually can't tell you how many times I got so frustrated when they brought this forward and they changed where the armor ability was just because they wanted to be like similar to other Halo games.
Universal, yeah.
And
well, they have legacy settings though, right?
Yeah, but what drives me nuts is you can't customize individual keys in this game. And
on a controller though, you can bind keys?
No, you can't. At least not through the game itself. You would have to do it through like third-party software, and it just it really bugs the shit out of me because it's like I want to play everything universal because that actually works, but just with Reach, I want to change where X and LB is. Why is that so hard? And you can't. There's no control scheme that lets you do that.
Are the legacy settings not even remotely close?
Well, see, if you change it to legacy, you reload with X instead of right bumper on Reach. In
Are you sure?
Yeah, on 360.
Let me look at my controls. Hold on.
On
Because I'm reloading with bumper. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you might be on Universal Reclaimer. Might be the one.
Game settings. It just says Halo Reach, and then where's my? Oh, sorry. Controls. Halo Reach is all it says.
Hang on. You hit
Does not say
Start Settings.
Yeah.
Click on Configure on the first tab.
Configure
Controls.
gamepad.
Yeah. What is it?
Universal default recon.
Right. So you're not on. You're not on
I'm
Legacy.
on recon, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But I also have a scuff controller, so I just map things to bumpers.
Right. So, for you, that wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
That's kind of bugged me, but
Yeah, it's odd. I didn't realize that T pointed out.
see, the one I have now is
True legacy
fine.
setting.
Where reload is right bumper, and then using the armor is left bumper, reload is right bumper, but I think, I forget which one's different. It might be the behavior of X is different on this one. I don't know.
Oh, hey, whoa, whoa. I don't know what is over there blasting me, but it is not very nice. Oh,
Oh, shite.
I'm dead.
Okay.
He didn't even fully swing that grab hammer. He just said you're
Shotgun,
bad.
let's go.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, shite.
I thought it fell off the map.
This is a take, but I actually really liked Vanguard.
I never played it. That is a take, though.
I think everyone hates Vanguard. Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. I'm like, what is everyone complaining about?
The brute just jumped straight off the map with the hammer trying to hit you midair.
Lovely. Gotta love it. That's some dedication. Oh, shite.
That is some dedication. He was really trying to risk it all just to take you out. Eggs 90 boo.
And Dork.
And Dork. Have you watched your show yet, man?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
What's
Nothing
your
crazy.
favorite Star Wars show? Is it Obi-Wan?
I feel like the basic answer is Mando, but probably Obi-Wan.
Where the hell do we go from here?
That's hard. I really like, and I would recommend you watching this. They did Tales of the Jedi.
Right.
It's like short little animated ones. Highly
Okay.
recommend that.
Okay.
They do a 3-episode Dooku arc.
Oh, where he turns?
Yeah, it's really great. I'm a big fan.
Oh.
Wow, are you running Phantom?
I love the prequels. I love the prequels. I don't know why everyone hates the prequels. They're great.
Well, it's all about what you grew up with, though, right?
I mean,
You
it
would've
is.
Grew up with the prequels.
That's what I grew up with. It was so cool that. Oh shit. That man's gonna get me.
Okay, okay, okay.
Beam rifle man.
Yeah, let's just spawn a bunch of people with concussion rifles at once.
Yeah.
Where's Beam Rifle Man? Oh, good job.
I got one of them.
Way to work. What? Look at this civvy right here. Standing proud, man. You will not take my home.
So, like, obviously my dad was, he went to, like, the original Star Wars releases, right? Because, like,
Right.
he was probably a teenager when those came out. And now for me, I was, episode 1, Phantom Menace, that was, what, 99? So I was, like, 5 or 6 years old, I guess. So I was a little bit too young for
Oh,
that
I didn't know
one.
that was 99.
Yeah. But Clone Wars and Return of the Jedi, I was all over that. And it was just so cool. Sequels,
Can I hit that man with a rocket launcher?
Sequel-
What a shot.
Sequel trilogy's
Oh my.
horrible.
Well, I don't know why. Why do you refer to it as the sequel trilogy, sir? It really should be the that's confusing because the sequel trilogy in reality is the prequels.
You have the original trilogy,
Yeah.
you have the prequel trilogy, and you have the sequel trilogy.
I don't think that terminology's right, sir, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I do know
yeah.
what you're talking about. The Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
'Cause
that one.
name makes sense.
I just that also I take umbrage with. I mean, what they did with Rey's arc is just so shit. It's horrible. And everyone's like Disney. I might probably have to take this out, but everyone's like, Disney stands for inclusion, blah, blah, blah. The whole reason why Finn's role diminished throughout the sequel trilogy is because of China. It's the only reason.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, so like that really bugs the shit out of me. Because like
Right.
he held a lightsaber in episode 7. It was like, oh shit, they're gonna be 2 new Jedis. I'm dead, by the way. And everyone's like, JK, you know, he's just gonna be. Same with the that other chick. What was her name?
In that trilogy.
Yeah. Oh shite.
Oh yeah, the one that like Finn kind of gets feelings for.
Yeah, and then she kind of like got canceled by the fans, and like Disney like kind of went to what the fans wanted and like pretty much removed her from episode 9.
Huh.
I don't know. It really bugs me, like how they handled that.
Oh my God.
Very similar to how 343's handled Halo, actually.
New video inbound.
Video inbound.
Why 343 and Disney or somewhere? That's funny.
343 is a shell corporation for.
I have a lot of grievances that are more, how do I want to describe it? More like timeline issues, like plot hole issues with the trilogy than anything.
Right.
Like, the number one thing that gets me is the whole like dyad of the Force. And you know what? I've come to accept it. Like the principle that basically those two, Rey and Kylo, are 1 in a million, and that they are a dyad in the Force, and that because they are 1 in a million, they have these Force abilities that are otherwise not possible. Because every million years, a dyad in the Force is born, and yada yada yada. All right, whatever. You know, okay. I don't love that, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh,
okay,
those are
that's
brutes.
weird.
I thought those were.
I'm gonna unplug my controller and plug it back in.
Oh, shite. Okay.
That was odd. And then, like, I did see one fan theory that I think if they had just, like, rolled with, it would have made the last one a lot better. Which is, you know how the whole time he's, like, begging her to strike him down? The Emperor is begging Rey to strike her down.
Oh,
yeah. And she inevitably does.
Yeah.
She, technically, is absorbed all the Sith then.
Right.
Because she listened to Palpatine. And I also like the parallelism of, like, he wanted Luke to strike him down.
Right.
So, like, the idea that maybe Plagueis actually, like, the living forever is actually the idea that you are like, your consciousness goes to the person that strikes you down.
So he's like a parasite almost?
Kinda, yeah. So he would be Plagueis, effectively. Like, because he strikes Plagueis down, who's the one who allegedly unlocks immortality. And then, you know, he wants Luke to strike him down to absorb him, but then that doesn't happen, and then he gets Rey to. I thought that was a cool theory.
It's such a cop-out that he wasn't even part of this trilogy, and then he just shows up in the last episode, right? I mean, it really bugs me because that invalidates almost the previous 6 movies.
Yeah, it does invalidate the Chosen One a lot.
It's
the
like
Anakin aspect. That was the only grievance that I had with the Emperor returning.
I mean, George, I was watching. Sometimes I'll just watch a lot of George Lucas interviews and see like how he's felt about Star Wars changing. And there's one interview he did, and they're like, who's the chosen one? Is it Luke or is it Anakin? And he's like, it's Anakin. Like it is Anakin. It's not Luke.
Yeah.
I just,
like the whole plot.
Right. It's like it's because he redeems himself in the end of Return of the Jedi. And
right.
so it's
he brings balance and forth. The Jedi are corrupt, and you know, too much Jedi. There's too much light. What does he do? He resets the scales, and then he inevitably gets rid of the darkness that takes over the universe.
Right. You know,
he sets it straight.
If you watch Episode 3, I actually think it's a well-written film. You know, the political aspect of it going on with the Jedi trying to take a little bit of extra power during this conflict with the clones and the droids. That was, you know, of course, a sham war. And then, you know, then you have Palpatine, who takes the whole power of the Senate for emergency powers, and he kind of holds that on to create a, kind of like a dictatorship. So like,
Yeah.
I
Emergency power.
I really like that. I thought that was really well thought of.
Oh, what?
Oh shite!
I just got nuked, man.
There's this part sucks. Look at all these banshees.
Got this.
I can't even hit him all
Got
the way over there.
this.
Oh, there we go.
You can do it.
All that banshee.
Well, and I also think so. In reality, the biggest issue with that trilogy and the realistic answer for why it flopped was because of the director switch up in 7 or
Right.
8. Sorry.
Yeah. With Ryan
7
Johnson
is
or whatever.
not a bad movie.
7's a great movie. I
Yeah,
actually thought
7 is-
7 is fantastic.
7 is a great reboot. It feels like the original, movie. Like the very first one.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of good things with 7. And then 8, really, it's just, you have a director come halfway through and they're like, oh, well, now I have to figure out this plot and we have to really edit this film and, make what we have work. And that's really where the failure happened.
But didn't they go back to J.J. Abrams for 9?
See, that's what confuses me. Like, that whole thing is weird, and the director of 8 is actually not a bad director. What is his name?
Ryan Johnson?
Yeah. Like, he's actually produced some decent films. So I don't know. That whole thing is just weird to me. And now they're really using the TV shows to kind of, like, fix the blues of that, like, by, like, a lot of the TV shows have links to the cloning, like trying to clone a Force-sensitive being, which is, like, effectively why Palpatine lives, right? So they're trying to, like, write in things that make up for the negative aspects of the plot. And it is what it is. I don't have any grievances with that. If you want to fill plot holes, you can fill plot holes with TV shows. That doesn't bother me. But
I think I like that they're actually, with these TV shows, they're expanding the universe, I think, in meaningful ways. Like, I think Obi-Wan Kenobi is a great example of that, where I'm dead, is that it's entirely...
Oh, shnikes.
It's entirely supplemental content, right? Like, you don't need to see Obi-Wan to understand what happens in between 3 and 4. Just watch the movie. But I think it adds...
We're doing this on a Mongoose. Get on here.
Oh, shite. Okay. But I think
they can't stop us.
It adds more meaning to those characters, especially the dynamic between Vader. Oh, shite.
Oh. The grunt solos, dude.
Yeah.
The grunt solos.
Yeah.
You gotta hit those shots, Andy. You gotta take them down, man.
So he wasn't in this, our first run through.
He was. I just killed him.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And I took his ghost.
This is the part that sucks.
What is the objective? Just run through this area?
I think you gotta take out these wraiths.
Well, if they don't tell me to do that, how am I supposed to know?
This is a great firefight map. Love this map.
This is a firefight map?
Yeah. This right here. Get the hell out of here.
Oh my.
Wouldn't it be really cool if they, like, alluded to, like, kind of patch in or something at one of these brutes that, like, lives as Aatrox?
That'd be sick. That'd be cool. He fought in Reach.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, anything about his backstory. I just know he kind of, like, took over, like, remains of the Covenant and unified them.
What he did was, he was sent off to war over and over and over again by the elites and the prophets.
Right.
And he kept coming back, and that just made him even more angry. And eventually he got defiant and stood up to them. Pretty much caused a mutiny.
Just keep winning, dude. Simple as that. Just keep winning.
Yeah, right. And that's how the Banished faction started. But to my understanding, I think the regular Covenant is still around. It's just that the Banished...
Or a faction. A splinter cell faction.
Yeah.
A Splinter Group, not Splinter Cell. Great game. Shout out Splinter Cell.
I haven't played that in forever.
Spies vs. Mercs, dude.
I'm dead.
Absolutely. That and Manhunt and Assassin's Creed, absolutely goated game modes. Oh,
Shite.
I shouldn't have done that. I realized you died.
I could talk all afternoon about Assassin's Creed.
Oh, Manhunt is the shit. On Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, dude. Oh my. Loved it. I would always play the big fat guy because his name was Augustus, and he had a hammer. And he was like a big fat ginger blacksmith, dude. He was a beast. Absolute beast. Because he could run as fast as everybody else, but he's just this big old fat dude. So he was hilarious to play in Manhunt. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think Brotherhood's aged really well. It's a great game.
Yeah, I don't even think the new ones have Manhunt. Like, I don't even think that they
don't even have online modes. Yeah, that's right. Single player only.
Which is very depressing, if you ask me.
I played a decent amount of AC4 multiplayer back in the day. Black Flag.
I think I played that one's multiplayer. I played the campaign, I know that, but...
Best one in the series.
No.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. You're crazy.
Well, which one is it then?
You just like boats. Dude, it's gotta be Brotherhood. Is that even a question?
Okay, I can take Brotherhood. I'll accept that.
Or 2.
2's good. Yeah,
I personally, I think my vote is Brotherhood. I like Revelations. That was kind of... That's not gonna be it, though. I really like 3.
Yeah. Do you ever play Rogue?
Gosh. Not Black Flag. No, I did not play Rogue.
I actually thought Rogue was pretty great.
I don't like their new open world ones. Like, I tried Origins, and then, like, the combat / climbing just made me... Like, I thought it... Like, the game itself is not bad. It's just... It's not Assassin's Creed.
Right. And that's why they're gonna... I think it's a problem, because now they've done so many of the... Well, they've done 3 of the RPG ones. So, like... And those are their biggest, most successful ones, so I think they're going to continue that, but a lot of people want those action...
Not, though.
Well, people want the action ones to come back, and that's what Mirage is. It's like the old style non-RPG.
I thought Valhalla was their most successful, though, and Valhalla, I thought, was like the older ones.
No,
it's not.
No. It's
really?
Yeah, no, it's an RPG. I actually...
Well, okay, wait.
I like...
RPG or, like, game mechanics, because... I get what you mean as far as, like, the older games are not RPGs because they're kind of, like, guided campaigns. Like, the RPG aspect is not what bothers me. It's the combat mechanics and the climbing, because that's not Assassin's Creed at all.
Okay, so it's... Valhalla has almost identical combat to Origins.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Yeah, I would not care for that game.
So, I actually really loved Origins. Story's fantastic. World is incredible. I think a great game. Odyssey, this is a take, which is the one in Greece. I actually think that's better and is phenomenal. Valhalla, I can't stand. I can't stand it, and I don't know why. I think because it's just so long. I'm like 70 hours in, and there's like, it's not even inferring that you're close to the end.
Really?
Huh?
It's really?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's really long. Hang on one second, guys.
No worries.